Hey, what's up guys, it's Aptrix here. In today's video, we'll be finally testing out the official Winlator Frost Android 10.0 Glipsy build on our low-end Android device. This device right here is the iQOO Z6 Lite, which has only 6GB of RAM and a Snapdragon 4 Gen 1 processor with Adreno 619 GPU, as you'll be able to see right here. Now it comes with 6GB of RAM, out of which only 2.3GB RAM is actually available. I have used this device previously to test out many emulators, even the official Winlator 10.0, but I was utterly disappointed with the results because none of the game managed to put on this low-end Android device using Winlator 10.0. But Winlator Frost is much better version of Winlator Android because it has lot of customization, new features and even compatibility improvements. You'll be able to see the minimum requirements that you need, just Android version 8 or above, and it has Turnip driver, Vortex driver as well as the Virtual Graphics driver for Mali GPU Android devices. I'll be using the latest hotfix version of Winlator Frost 10.0 version 1.1, as you'll be able to see it comes with new box 64 version. Along with that, you'll be able to see all the changes made inside the Winlator Frost 10.0, including DXVK fixes for games like Far Cry 3, Assassin's Creed 3 and lot more. I have already covered all the changes of the Winlator Frost in my Winlator Frost setup video. You guys will be able to check it out on the iCard above. Anyways, let's get started with the testing of this emulator on my low-end Android device. First of all, we'll set it up as usual and I'll show you guys the best settings that you need to apply if you also want to get the best amount of performance possible. Winlator Frost has always been one of those emulators that has never disappointed me in terms of compatibility, stability or performance. The first thing that you gotta do is tap on settings, afterwards box 64 version, as you'll be able to see even the 0.3.5 has been added. So we'll be going with the latest box 64 version. Along with that, performance preset will be set by duplicating it and then tapping on edit and setting the safe flags level to 0. Once that has been done, we'll just go ahead and tick mark and create our brand new container. Here in terms of screen size, you'll be able to see Winlator Frost supports multiple screen sizes, including 16:9 aspect ratio for even 1920 by 1080 resolution. But for today's video, we'll be going with the 854 by 480p resolution. Now this is a weird resolution, but it gets the job done. In terms of graphics driver, we'll be going with Adreno Turnip driver because this device has a Snapdragon 4 Gen 1 processor. We'll also be going with the latest 25.1.02 version of the graphics driver. Afterwards, tap on OK. If your device does not support Turnip drivers, for example Snapdragon 7 Gen 3, 6S Gen 3 and even Snapdragon 8 Elite etc., then go with the Vortex graphics driver. For Mali GPU Android devices, go with Virtual Graphics driver. In terms of DX wrapper, make sure to tap here and make sure to choose the stable versions, for example 1.10.3. Once that has been done, enable show FPS, set the audio driver as pulse audio. Afterwards, scroll here, go to drives and make sure to select the folder where you store your PC games. Once that has been done, let's go to advanced settings and here make sure to choose the performance preset which we just created. Startup selection as aggressive, and that's about it in terms of best settings. These are the only best settings that you need to apply inside Winlator Frost, and as Winlator Frost is based on Winlator 10.0 which has native Glipsy support, the performance on low-end devices should be good. I have heard that it is good, but unfortunately in the normal Winlator 10.0 Glipsy, none of the games managed to boot on my low-end Android device and it was pretty pathetic experience to be honest. But here we go, as you will be able to see our Windows emulator container has successfully started. We'll toggle full screen, afterwards tap on the start button to check if our graphical output is working. We'll go to DirectX 3D test, afterwards simply tap on cube map. Now cube map will tell us a good amount of information such as if your graphical output is working and how much FPS are we getting. So we are getting 460 FPS on my flagship Realme GT 7 Pro. I used to get 1000 FPS. So even 40% of that performance is actually pretty amazing, and the cube map benchmark is actually capped at 1000 FPS. So I'm pretty sure if this device, it could easily give 2000 FPS as well. Anyways, what we'll do next is simply tap on the start button once again. You'll be able to see some of the fixes that have been provided. Games do not work. If your DirectX version do not work, then you can check out all of these fixes. Even Unity games launch fixes, for example if you want to emulate games like Watch Dogs 2 or other Unity games like Assassin's Creed Unity etc., make sure to enable this option. Anyways, we won't be doing that. We'll be testing out Assassin's Creed Rogue, Grand Theft Auto 4 as well as Spider-Man 2 in today's video. Let's get started with Assassin's Creed Rogue because this is a game that I actually wanted to try out in my last Winlator low-end device testing video, but it never actually worked. So here we go. Immediately you will be able to see Winlator Frost does not disappoint. The game has started successfully successfully in just a single click, very quickly without giving us any trouble, and that is actually pretty amazing. We are using latest Turnip graphics driver, so if your games do crash, then you can try downscaling the Turnip graphics driver to older versions and that might fix the issue. But here we go, Assassin's Creed Rogue has successfully started. Hopefully this game will be 100% playable. So here I'll just go ahead and start a new game. There we go, we'll tap on confirm. And there we go guys, surprisingly the game booted, and oh my god, actually guys, take a look at this top left corner. We are getting 39 FPS. Well, now it will get more demanding obviously once all the 3D rendering stuff goes on and the cutscene is over, but that is actually impressive. I have never seen so much FPS Assassin's Creed Rogue running on this low-end Android device. Once the scenes are not that demanding, the FPS is actually rising up. So here we go, our game has successfully started, and guess what guys, it did not crash. Winlator 10.0 version is actually running through the Winlator Frost emulator and it is actually playable. You will be able to see we are getting about 14 FPS, which is not that bad at all considering that we are using a super low-end Android device and it is very affordable, to be honest. This is actually one of the most affordable phones that anyone can buy in 2025. It doesn't even cost that much, and you will be able to see we are able to emulate some old AAA PC games on our Android device. Anyways, this was Assassin's Creed Rogue. Let's move on towards our next game, which is going to be Grand Theft Auto 4. We'll turn off our touch controls and move on towards our next game. And here we go guys, Grand Theft Auto 4 is also about to start. Surprisingly enough, there we go, it has successfully booted, which is literally crazy because I was so disappointed with the Winlator 10.0 official version that I told you guys it's not recommended to use that version of Winlator Android, because even though Winlator Android is one of the best Windows emulators, its best version is actually inside the Winlator Bionic, which uses Winlator C Mode 7.1.3. So I know it's a bit complicated, but Winlator 7.1.3 Glipsy was actually the best version of Winlator Android. Anyways, the first thing which we'll do is decrease the graphics settings and make sure to set everything to low. Afterwards then we'll start our game. Press enter, afterwards exit the settings tab and immediately start our brand new game. So there we go, let's see how well does this game actually work. I have tested out GTA 4 multiple times on the same Android device and I always got about, I wouldn't say amazing FPS, but it was definitely a playable gameplay experience, about 8 to 10 FPS in most cases. Let's find out how well does Winlator Frost perform. And here we go guys, after waiting for about 30 to 40 seconds, our game is about to start. Now one thing which I want to tell you guys is that on low-end devices it will definitely take a lot of time to boot games, so you just have to be patient and not give up. Most of the times people just open the game and if it doesn't boot instantaneously, they think that the game is stuck or anything like that. Anyways, I'll just go ahead and press the enter button and skip the beginning cutscene because it doesn't render properly. And here we go, here's the moment of truth. GTA 4 has successfully started, and surprisingly there are graphical issues which I did not expect. I have never seen GTA 4 giving me graphical issues on my Snapdragon processor Android device, but you'll be able to see the performance is actually more than what I ever got before. It is even better than the Assassin's Creed Rogue. It is even better than Assassin's Creed Rogue which we just played, and you'll be able to see there are stuttering issues here and there, and that's I guess is because of the shader compilation. Once the shaders are compiled, there won't be any stuttering issues, and I have to definitely say this, the performance which we are getting is really amazing. Like 18 to 20 FPS is definitely playable and will also give you a decent gameplay experience. Anyways, let me just go ahead and get out of the car, and you'll be able to see Nico Bellic is not getting rendered properly for some reason. That is pretty funny. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video though. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comment section down below what do you guys think about Winlator Frost 10.0. I only tested out 2 games because these 2 games give us the best benchmark possible. You cannot really emulate high-end titles like GTA 5, Cyberpunk, Spider-Man, etc. on these low-end devices, though you can emulate mid-range games like Assassin's Creed Rogue, GTA 4 and Far Cry 3, etc. So that's going to be it for today's video though. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.